Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in Columbus, Ohio. And in the previous episode, we beat the New York Rangers in 5. And you know what? It was a pretty damn good season. A low-scoring affair. I mean, we won, so that's all I really care about. But let's go ahead and check out the stats. Now, there were a few things I'm a little iffy about, and I'll talk about them there. So, for forwards, Jacques Giroux is leading the team in points, 8 in 5 games. It's pretty damn good. +3 ain't too shabby. 1-game winner, and that's pretty important. Jeffrey Woodworth with 6. Goring having a pretty good postseason for the third liner. Putting up 5 points in the first round. Our depth helped us tremendously, and I think that's a thing that we'll have to address. I mean, I know, why would you address that your depth is doing great? Well, our big guys didn't put up the numbers I was really expecting. I mean, yeah, Giroux, Woodworth, we're doing great, but then you look down here. I mean, Savard with 5 isn't too bad. Prohorkin, MP3, 4 goals in 5 games. Had a great stretch there. Had a 3-game goal scoring streak. Man is on fire. Shooting 21%, 4 goals. This guy is a machine. Stu Cam with 3 goals. Ain't too bad as well. Cole Sillinger could have been a bit better. This guy, I don't know what it is. He has never been as good as I thought he was going to be with this team. I don't know. His offensive stats look to be pretty good. Shooting stats, I mean, his accuracy is not good. But his passing is pretty good. I don't know what it is. I don't see him coming back to this team. If it's for cheap, then yeah, but we don't have a lot of options cap-wise. Kilo Fallon could have been better. And then Joshua Watt could have been a whole lot better. He was paired up with a 91 overall, and I believe, I don't know what his name is, Rupp from the New York Islanders. If you don't know who that is, go back and watch the last video. I need the views. I need the watch time. I need all that jazz. Please. Dreger with 2 could have been better as well. Piton with 1 goal. Dietz with 1 goal. So, our depth, everybody could have been better, but we scored goals in key situations that really turned the tide. I mean, first 3 games, we would score goals early, late, all over the place on the power play. Prohorkin was pretty damn good. But we won the series, and that's all I can really care about. But this is where this is where it gets real, okay? Defense not putting up a lot of points on the back end, so half our defensemen didn't put up a single point, but their plus-minuses aren't too shabby. They didn't allow goals. Abel Carlos with 3 points in 5 games isn't too bad. Jarvinen with 1, and then Stu Cam with 1. Not a lot I can say. None of them with a goal. I'm hoping for a lot more in this coming round. Goalies! Vyacheslav Kavanagh was fantastic. He was, I believe, the MVP of that round. I mean, you could say it could have gone to Giroux or Woodworth, or even Prohorkin. Kavanagh really held it in tight situations, except for game number 4. Exclude that, he was fantastic each and every other game. And there's nothing you can say about that. 6 goals in 5 games is fantastic. But the New York Islanders are one of our biggest rivals ever. I believe they won the President's Trophy. They were tied with the Dallas Stars. I don't know who officially wins it. I'm assuming it's Dallas because they're up on the top. I'm not sure, but they are the best team in the league. By wins, by points, they are one of the best, even though our goals for is fantastic. This is going to be a close series, but I have no idea what they're looking like. I know a few of their guys, but they've probably changed a bit since the last time we've seen them. Let's go to view lines, see what the Islanders are looking like here in 2036. We've had series wins against them. We've had series losses against them. I'm just hoping for something good against them here. The Islanders. Okay, let's start from the top. Oliver Wahlstrom is their first-line center. He is a pretty damn good player. How was his regular season? 114 points. He's always been a pretty good player, usually over a point per game every season. This is a dangerous player. Savoie and him. Obviously, I'm going to say Savoie's the better player because Savoie is. But that's a pretty good matchup for him. Edo Iguchi, the man, the myth, the goal-scoring legend. This guy just scores and scores and scores. The year before, he scored 14 goals in 21 games in the postseason. He is a freaking wizard when it comes to goal scoring. He's really good at what he does. And I'm scared of him. Tolfson is their left winger on the first line. How was his regular season? 95 points, ain't too shabby. So that first line is pretty damn good. Their second line looks to be pretty similar. Curtis Morgan, their second line center. Yeah, they could have rolled with either of these guys on the first line. They were going to have a great season being paired up with Edo Iguchi. No doubt about it. Reed Stapleton, an 88 overall. They have a very, very solid second line. Linzen at $4 million. How much is for Stapleton? They got him on pretty solid contracts. Especially Linzen. I'm not sure if that's his actual overall or just morale, but he looks to be a really good forward. Third line, former Columbus Blue Jacket and Robert Roisseau is their third line center. He seems like he's shined here in New York, but we didn't trade him to New York. We traded him to Arizona, and he came back to the Metropolitan Division. He played 13 games for us, was okay, but he never had a real shot of fitting in with our lineup. We have too many really awesome players for him to step in and be a good producer. You know, I'm sorry, Roswell. Please don't take that aggression out on us. Hugo Bergeron, it looks to be pretty good, 22 years of age. Yeah, he's going to be pretty good. Joaquin Courtnall, that's a good third line. That is a good third line. They're neck and neck with us. I see why they won 62 games. Jean-Luc Foudy as their fourth line center. Dmitry Khudobin, and then you got Vitaly Kravtsov. That is a damn good fourth line right winger. So Daryl Dreger is being paired up against Kravtsov. I mean, obviously the advantage goes to Dreger, but it's not that big of a gap. Defense, what's it looking like? McDermott, who might end up winning the Norris Trophy this season, had a very, very good year being paired up with Ronnie Walensky. That is a solid first pairing. Kozlov and Sawatski. Sawataziki. Lewis, that's his name. That's an okay pairing. Not as good as ours. We're Columbus. We're always good. Donovan Zajac, and then you got Simmons. So they obviously rely on their offense, but they have some really high caliber defensemen on this team. Goaltending. Caden Marshall, who might end up winning the Vezina and William M. Jennings this season. He was good. He's going to break Kavanaugh's 5-year streak of Vezina and William M. Jennings trophies. That sucks to see, but if we're gonna win the Stanley Cup again, we have to beat the absolute best. Jake Ottinger is their backup. Scratch players: Archer, Maloney, and Stutzel. They're a good team. I see why they won 62 games. For the first time in years, we do not have home ice against a team. It's a crazy feeling. Usually we do. I mean, I feel like every year we've had home ice. Every year we've been in the playoffs. Even if we didn't win the Presidents, we were usually better than the team we were facing. This might be a first. I can't recall the last time we didn't have home ice, because we won the Presidents like 6 years in a row. Okay, first game at the Barclays Center. This is weird for us, guys. This is definitely a weird turning point in this franchise, but if we have to be the best, we have to beat the best en route to a Stanley Cup. Game number 1, round number 2. First period is in their favor. Oliver Wahlstrom scores pretty even in shots, but they lead us. Second period. Okay, we tie things up. Khalil Fallon on the power play. We outshoot them by 12, 30-18. Okay. This is not the situation I wanted to be in. They have their stars. We have maybe more stars on this team, but this is not a team I want to be battling for goals with, because EA Sports, am I right? Third period, here we go. Power play early, come on, capitalize Columbus. Joshua Waugh, a name I haven't seen in a while. Joshua Waugh trying to prove a point here. 2 straight power play goals against the Islanders, making it 3-1 halfway through the third period. That might be enough to take a game number 1 victory. Jörgen Alfredsson with his first ever Stanley Cup playoff goal. Dietz making it 6-1, laying the hammer down on the Blue Jackets. Alfredsson actually getting the first defensive goal this postseason. 44 shots on the evening. Jake Ottinger came in for relief. Joshua Waugh with 4 points. Kavanagh with a fantastic game. That is the game number 1 victory that we needed. Jeffrey Woodworth now leading this team in points. Or I guess tied with Giroux. But a good performance from everybody there. Game number 2 at the Barclays Center. Can we take 2 away on their home ice? First period. 3-2, high-scoring affair. Shorthanded goal for Mäkinen to start the game. Woodworth a few minutes later. Tolfsen and Courtnall 2 straight, so they tied the game just like that. They got their weapons, and even if they're not their best players, they just seem to score at will. Daryl Dreger breaks the tie late into the first period. It's not the third. I'd be a little more excited if he scored pretty late in the third, but it's the first, and we've got plenty of time remaining. Second period, 4-3. Bergeron ties the game, but Giroux makes it a 1-goal game. Shots are pretty low. Kavanagh's not having a great game. Same with Marshall. So 2 of the best goalies in the league really battling it out just to keep their team in it. The next goal is important. Third period, we outshoot them. But is that going to be enough? Power play early into the third. Is that enough? Come on. That is a long power play that we cannot capitalize on. That sucks. We got a close game. Close race. Close game here in the Barclays Center. And it looks like we will take 2 away from home ice here in New York. Savoie with the first star. The goalies weren't great, but Kavanagh did just enough to keep us in that game to the dying seconds. Mester is hurt in the AHL. I'll just go with the backup goalie, or the scratch goalie that we have. Okay, we are riding a 2-game advantage, headed back to Columbus with a chance to win the series on home ice. Okay, not much I can say. Woodworth leading this team in points with 9. Here we go. That was a close game. I don't want close games. But the first game was pretty close up until the third period, and then we kind of kicked them around. I'm sure they want a bit of revenge. Game numero 3. First period. 1-1. Waugh opens the game, and then Stapleton ties it in the dying seconds of the period. 22 seconds to be exact. They outshoot us by 4. 12-8 to be exact. Second period. And we get the advantage. Jörgen Alfredsson with the lone goal on defense in the first game and gets his second to make it a 2-1 game. So he's the only defenseman on this team to score an actual goal in his rookie season coming up clutch. Matt Goring makes it a 3-1 game. They outshoot us by 1, but we have the advantage so far. Third period, here we go. 4-1 Cole Sillinger, 53 seconds into the third period. Woodworth just hammering down. Power play early for them. They cannot capitalize. That just takes the breath out of the Islanders players. But we're here in Columbus. We will take a 3-game advantage over the Islanders. Just like the Rangers, we have a pretty hefty series lead. Kavanagh with the first star. Big games from the boys in purple. The big guys are actually coming up this series. There's a few names on the Islanders teams that I haven't seen yet. Is the in brackets. I don't wanna put it out there, hockey gods, but let's end it here on home ice in Columbus, Ohio. There's not much I can say. Get it done. I don't want to go back to New York. Nobody wants to be in New York, especially Brooklyn. First period. 1-0. Linzen scores for them, their second line right winger. We outshoot them by 5 to be exact. 12-7. Second period. We tie the game. Cole Sillinger slowly but surely making a name for himself here in Columbus. He seems to score clutch goals when it matters. That's why it's clutch, Owen. You don't have to say that. We outshoot them by 9. Okay, here we go. Third period's another close one headed into the third. Come on. Come on. We've gotten it done before. Just like this, Kozlov scores for them, and they have a 2-1 advantage. Linzen scores his second of the game. That might be too much for us to overcome. That's not what I like to see, and it looks like we will drop game number 4, and they make it a series. We are headed back to the Barclays Center for game number 5. Marshall stood tall in that game. Okay, our offense did not come out, but we're headed back to New York. We had a lot of success there in Brooklyn in the first 2 games. Let's head back. Let's take 3 straight on their home ice. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Columbus. First period. 3-0. This reminds me of something. In the first game, or in the first series, we lost game number 4, headed back to Columbus. First period, we score 3 straight. And similar to this series, we take a 3-0 series advantage over the Islanders. They win game number 4. We head back to Barclays, and we take a 3-0 advantage in the first. Waugh, Savoie, and Fallon. Those are the names that I want to see on the score sheet. They outshoot us by 4, but we have the goal advantage. Second period. And we blank them there. They outshoot us still, but they would have at least like 1 or 2. Keeping us in there, Vyacheslav. Third period, here we go. Iguchi early. That is a name that I haven't seen all series, and that's a name that I don't want to see again. Stu Cam, his first in the playoffs, power play goal. That might seal it. I should stop saying words. Iguchi, his second of the round. Come on. Come on, boys. Slow it down. Play your game. Iguchi completes the hat trick. Slow it down, boys. Come on, get out of this. Come on. And you avoid an absolute collapse there. Iguchi was like, I'm carrying this team on my back. But Stu Cam gets the game-winning goal. Vyacheslav Kavanagh just did enough work to hold on. Iguchi's a hard name to stop from scoring. First star goes to Edo Iguchi, but who the hell cares? We are advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second straight year. But who in the blue hell are we facing in round number 3? I don't know who it is. And we will be facing the Boston Bruins. This has a lot of history, a lot of storytelling. Here we go, Columbus. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.